What would you do if you discovered that the person sharing your bed was living a double life? In Portland, one woman's world shattered when her boyfriend's phone revealed months of betrayal with a coworker. Now, let's get back to today's story. I should have seen it coming. Using a burner account for obvious reasons, protect what little privacy I have left. The beginning, I still remember the day everything felt different. It was a cold, rainy Tuesday in Portland, Oregon, the kind where the rain seems to seep into your bones. I was sitting alone at our dining table in our second-floor apartment on Hawthorne Boulevard, the one with the creaky hardwood floors and the bay window I'd fallen in love with when we first moved in. I'd made my boyfriend's favorite meal, herb-crusted salmon with roasted potatoes, now cold and congealed on the blue ceramic plates my mother had given us as a housewarming gift. The lavender-scented candles I'd lit had burned halfway down, wax dripping onto the tablecloth like tears. It was 8:45 p.m. My boyfriend of 3 years was 3 hours late. Again, my stomach was tied in painful knots, not from hunger, but from that awful, gnawing feeling that had been growing inside me for weeks. Every time my phone buzzed with another text from him, "Sorry babe, client meeting running late," I felt physically sick. My hands trembled as I read each message, a voice in my head screaming that something wasn't right. He'd been acting so strange lately, always clutching his phone like it contained state secrets, angling the screen away from me, taking calls in the bathroom with the shower running. When I'd ask simple questions about his day, his jaw would tighten, and he'd snap at me. "Why are you interrogating me?" he'd demand, his blue eyes cold with irritation. "You're being paranoid. Can't a guy have some privacy without being treated like a criminal?" Each time, I'd apologize, feeling small and foolish, but the knot in my stomach only grew tighter. My best friend noticed it too. We were having coffee last month, raindrops racing down the windows, when she finally said something. She'd been my friend since college, long before my boyfriend, and her worried expression made my heart race. "I don't want to upset you," she whispered, her fingers nervously tracing the rim of her mug. I was darting around to make sure no one could hear. "But your boyfriend was acting really strange at my husband's birthday party. He kept stepping outside to take calls in the rain, without a jacket even, and I saw him texting someone." I felt like the floor was tilting beneath me, but I forced a laugh that sounded hollow even to my own ears. "He's just stressed about the Henderson account," I said. "The client is demanding," but my best friend's words burrowed deep into my mind, setting up precedents alongside my own suspicions. That night, I cried silently in the shower so my boyfriend wouldn't hear me, the hot water mixing with my tears as I hugged myself, feeling utterly alone even though he was just in the next room. The discovery. It happened on a Saturday morning, so innocently it almost seemed like fate. My boyfriend was in the shower, singing that annoying pop song he'd had stuck in his head all week. Sunlight streamed through our bedroom windows, catching dust particles in golden beams. A beautiful morning that was about to become the worst day of my life. His phone buzzed on the nightstand. Once. Twice. 3 times in rapid succession. I never checked his phone before. Never. I believed in trust, in privacy, but something, call it instinct, intuition, or just the culmination of months of suspicion, made me reach for it. The preview showed, "Last night was amazing. Your hands on my body. Can't wait to see you again. Miss you already." My fingers felt numb as I picked up his phone. The message was from work colleague, with a simple office building emoji next to her name. My heart hammered so loudly I was sure he could hear it over the shower spray. His passcode was my birthday, the irony of which made me want to scream or laugh or maybe both. When the phone unlocked, my worst fears materialized in high definition. Hundreds of messages between him and his coworker, intimate photos that made my stomach heave, plans for weekends when he told me he was on business trips, hotel receipts, inside jokes, pet names, meet me at the Riverside Hotel, wearing that black lingerie you know I love. "Last night was incredible, still feeling you on my skin. I miss you so much it hurts. 3 more hours until this stupid meeting is over and I can hold you again." I scrolled through month after month of betrayal, my vision blurring with tears, my breath coming in short, painful gasps. 6 months. They'd been seeing each other for 6 months. While I was cooking his favorite meals, while I was planning our future, while I was defending him to my worried friends, he was building a life with someone else. I felt like I was drowning, like someone had reached into my chest and was squeezing my heart with ice-cold hands. The bathroom door opened, releasing a cloud of steam, and my boyfriend stepped out with a towel around his waist, humming contentedly. He froze when he saw me sitting there, his phone in my trembling hands, tears streaming down my face. "What are you doing?" he snapped, lunging forward to grab the phone from me. His face transformed from shock to anger in an instant. "Who is she?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. I couldn't even summon the energy to yell. The devastation was too complete. His expression shifted again, from anger to panic, his eyes darting around like a cornered animal. She's just a coworker. You're reading into things. Those messages don't mean what you think. Don't lie to me. I finally found my voice, and it erupted from me in a primal scream that hurt my throat. I saw everything. The messages, the pictures, the hotel receipts, everything. 6 months. 6 months of lying to my face. It's not what it looks like, he started, using that condescending tone that had always made me doubt myself before. His hand reached for mine, but I recoiled like his touch would burn me. I need you to leave, I whispered, hugging myself as if I might physically fall apart. Baby, please, let me explain. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. Get out, I screamed, grabbing the nearest object, a framed photo of us in Hawaii, and hurling it at the wall. The glass shattered, a perfect metaphor for what he'd done to my heart. Edit 1. Thank you all for the support. I'm still in shock and processing everything. Minnie asked if I told his coworker's boyfriend. Not yet, but I'm gathering all the evidence. Yes, I'm keeping the apartment. My name's on the lease, and he's the one who destroyed our life here. I spent the next week in a haze of grief and rage, methodically gathering evidence. Screenshots of everything on his phone, which he hadn't managed to lock before I threw him out. His location history on our shared account, showing he was at her apartment when he told me he was working late. Credit card statements showing dinners for 2 at romantic restaurants when I was visiting my parents. Hotel receipts in his email. I even found conversations planning a vacation to Bali together, using money from our shared savings account for the future. Each new discovery was like a fresh knife to my already shredded heart. I cried until I threw up, then cried more. My best friend came over with ice cream and wine, holding me while I shook with sobs. Today I finally blocked his number and reported him to building security at my office. I'm staying with my best friend for now. I still cry myself to sleep most nights. My appetite is gone. I've lost 7 pounds in less than 2 weeks. But I'm eating again, small bites of toast, soup my friend makes me. I'm taking it hour by hour, day by day. The pain comes in waves. Sometimes I'm angry, sometimes devastated, sometimes numb. The hardest part is missing the person I thought he was, a person who never actually existed. Update, 2 weeks later after telling his coworker's boyfriend, reached out to thank me. We met for coffee at a quiet cafe on the other side of town where we wouldn't run into anyone we knew. He was just as devastated as I was, maybe more. They were together for 5 years, and he was planning to propose on their upcoming anniversary. I sat across from this stranger, both of us broken by the same betrayal, and felt a strange kinship. We're both focusing on healing now. We promised to update each other but agreed that staying in contact too much might make moving on harder. My boyfriend got drunk and showed up at my best friend's house last night at 2 a.m., pounding on the door, screaming that he loves me. The neighbors called security, who had to physically remove him from the property. I filed for a restraining order this morning, my hands shaking as I signed the papers.
That brings us to the end of today's story. It's a powerful reminder that while love can sometimes blind us to red flags, our intuition often knows the truth. I want to thank you for watching. Your support means everything to us. If you found value in this story, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced something similar, or do you have advice for others going through betrayal? Your stories and insights might help someone who's silently struggling right now. Until next time, trust your gut, know your worth, and remember that sometimes the end of a relationship is just the beginning of finding yourself again.